Alrighty, good morning everybody. It's Friday the 15th of May. Last workout for the week, except if you're doing tomorrow Saturday. And let's see what we have on the board for today's Friday workout. So today is much about an upper body strength workout today. So a lot of handstand work, a lot of overhead work for the arms today. So we're doing 7 rounds. We're going to do 1 strict handstand push-up. We're going to do 2 kipping handstand push-ups, and then we do a max handstand hold. So for those of you who've been following us for the last month and a half, you're going to remember this one from April. So this is a repeat, but we really liked it. We loved it, in fact. So we thought we'd do it again. Hey! Okay, so we've got 1 strict handstand push-up. Right, so you're going to stand, kick up onto the wall. If you can kick up onto the wall, 1 strict handstand push-up. Straight into 2 kipping handstand push-ups if you've got kipping handstand push-ups. If you don't have strict handstand push-ups or kipping handstand push-ups, we're going to go through some progressions for you to make sure that you can get through that work. And then we do a max handstand hold, and we'll go through different progressions on the handstand hold. Then you're going to rest. You're going to rest as long as you need to rest. So we're really looking for max effort in this overhead position, which means you can't have a short rest. You're probably going to need at least 1, 2, even up to 3 minutes rest before you go back into your second round. So if you want to, you can do some extra cardiovascular work if you feel like you need to be able to do that. But ideally, you're going to sit down, I don't know, watch a handstand video, come back in, do the second round. And we're doing 7 rounds in total. Okay, so it is quite a lot of volume, but it's really good for that overhead strength shoulder girdle work. Then at the end of all that, we've got a nice little finisher for you. We've got 20 kick sits, which we're going to show you, and we've got 20 jumping lunges, which are going to get the legs to burn. We've only programmed for 1 round, but probably do maybe 3 rounds, 4 rounds. See how you're going to, that's what's going to drive the heart rate up, get that midline firing. Okay, make sure the legs are going, get some leg work, get some lungs going just for today's workout if this gets too much. All right, if you need to cut this down, so scaling down, you can scale this down to 4 rounds or 5 rounds. Okay, scale your time down, give yourself a longer rest. And if you want to focus more on your cardiovascular conditioning, then do more rounds of this finisher. Okay guys, so let's have a look at our scaling options. So we're going to move across to the wall. So strict handstand push-up. Right, so if you've got a wall, right, if you can do, you can put yourself a mat or a towel or a pillow if you need to. If you've got some kind of a yoga mat, put it underneath your head. Right, I'm going to kick up onto the wall, arms locked out. If you've got some upside down work, okay, hips off the wall, and we're going to do a strict handstand push-up for those who can do a strict handstand push-ups. Now you're going to keep your legs up there, and we're going to go straight into your 2 reps for a kipping handstand push-up. Right, so if you've got your kipping, hands on the floor, press, stop, legs drive, press, kipping handstand push-up, and we're going to do 2 kipping handstand push-ups. Right, we are going to make sure that we get the shoulders nice and warm before we start getting upside down. 2 kipping handstand push-ups, and then we're doing a strict handstand hold. So again, you're probably going to keep it up there, arms locked out, press locked out, try not to let your bum relax on the wall, tummy tucked in, press the heels out, point the toes, push the arms, and we're going to hold for as long as you can. Now, what we noticed the last time is not actually the shoulders that start to give out, it's often the wrists. Okay, so hold for as long as you can. If you feel like your wrists have had enough, come back down. If you feel like your shoulders have had enough, come back down. And then rest. Give yourself some wrist and shoulder mobility in between your rounds. That's 1 round. Okay, so scaling options. So for our strict handstand push-up, our first option is just to do some kind of a pushback. So from there, push back into the hips so they've got that arm locked out into the overhead position, and you're touching your head through the middle, touch, press back, hips back, touch back. If you can't do that overhead position, you can do a push-up. Knees to floor, toes to floor, or you can do strict push-ups. So if that's really challenging for you, do push-ups instead of handstand push-ups if you want. If 3 is not enough for you, do 5 or do 6 or do 7 handstand, 6 or 7 push-ups, just to get that max work. We're looking for as much work as you can. If you can't get into an overhead position for that handstand hold, you can either do a push back as far as your shoulders are comfortable, so you're holding that overhead position, or you can just do even a tall plank. Arms locked out, shoulder blades pulled back, chin pulled up and in. Make sure that stomach is nice and tight. Make sure you're not going to the lower back. Tummy tight, hold, and do a nice long tall plank hold for as long as you can. Work in the plank. That's on the floor. If you need to do a pike progression with your feet slightly elevated, you can work on a box. So from there, okay, bring your hands on, bring your knees on there. Bring your feet onto the top of a chair or a step, or something you're going to start. Feet come up, feet top, do a handstand push-up. The more your hips are over the top of your shoulders, the more demanding the shoulder's going to be. So feet up there, touch your head, touch shoulders,
press out, and you can do 3. If you want to do 3, if 3 is not enough, you do it more and you hold, and then try and get your hips over the top. Lock it out, press, and hold
for as long as you can for that handstand hold in a pike position. Okay, that's going to be your rounds. If you do that, you're doing 7 rounds of that. Rest as much as you need to between the 7 rounds for that handstand work. Then your finisher. So your finisher is going to be 20 kick sits. So you kick sit, a little bit of like an uncommon movement, not something that we do a lot of, but it teaches coordination between that lower body, hips, and stomach. Right? So what we're looking for, lower back's got to stay flat, and we're going to shoot the legs out. As we shoot the legs out, hip flexors fire, pulls up into tummy, it's going to pull us up into sitting position. Right? So hands going to touch, knees bend, shoot the legs, hips fire, sit up. Hup. 1. Shoot the legs. 2. Make sure you don't start this upper body movement first. Legs fire. 1. 2. 3. 4. So it's very similar to if you're working on a GHD, okay, or glute ham developer. If you're not doing kick sits, normal sit-ups, chin tucked in, low back flat, touch. Make sure that low back doesn't go the neck doesn't go out, chin tucked in, and keep the chin tucked in the whole way through. If that's not comfortable, 1, 2, 3 for the stomach to work, get that compression to the stomach. So 20 kick sits. Then we're going into a jumping lunge. So if your knees and legs are good with lunges, great. Go into a jumping lunge, side, drop. Make sure the work is to the heel, hips doing the work. Press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 in total. Get the heart rate up. Take the heart rate up a whole lot. Quadriceps are going to burn. Glutes are going to do the work. Keep a nice strong midline. 20 jumping lunges. If you're not doing jumping lunges, you're going to do normal lunges. So you're going to step back, step, press up. 1, step, press up. 2, step, press up. 3. If your knees are good for normal lunges. If that's not right, you can do jump squats, which also push your heart rate up a whole lot more. Hips, press, jump, jump, jump. If jump squats are no good for you, normal squats. Normal squats, 20 squats. So 1 round of kick sits and jumping lunges will push your heart rate up through the roof. But you may want a bit more stimulus than that. If you want to, give yourself a short rest, go into a 2nd round, short rest, 3rd round. Okay, you don't even have to have a rest. Okay, as much rest as you need between that before you have to go back into kick sits. 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5 rounds, up to you, depends on how much work you want to do. All right, guys, that's a workout. And we're going to the warm-up briefing now. Alrighty, guys, so warm-up, 5-minute warm-up. Run around the block, if you're doing it in the morning, and you can, or around the garden, chase the dog, chase the kids, skip, fast feet, jumping jacks, anything to get your heart rate going for 5 minutes. Then we're going to do a whole bunch of shoulder prep work, some shoulder mobility, as well as just shoulder range of movement. And then we're going to do some hip work as well. So first one, we do 5 to 10 reps, a T-spine rotation with a shoulder roll. So it's to look a little bit like this. So we're going to do the T-spine rotation, a little bit different today. You can do it in a kneeling position, so we often do this one. Okay, so you're going to reach through, side, reach through, side, which is fine. Okay, what we're going to try today is you're going to try the same thing, but in a push-up position. So you're going to keep a nice, strong plank position, make sure the hips don't drop. Hop, push through, you're going to turn aside, 1, and you're going to reach through. Keep the hips up, and reach through. 2, reach through, 3, and back. If that's too much for you on one side, do 5 reps on the left, 5 reps on the right. If you need to, you can alternate. So if you're going to go on your other side, we're going to rotate, hips stay up, make sure this is still pushing so you're not dropping. Turn to the ceiling, come back down, hips stay up, press, back down. So you're going to feel there's obliques working on the side, hips, touch, side. And we're doing 10 reps in total. I can do 5 each side. If you want to do more reps, you can. Then we do a shoulder roll. So you're trying to get as much work through the shoulder girdle as possible. Kneeling position. Roll the shoulders back, up, down, round, back, up, round, down. So you may feel this low back is doing a bit of a roll, but your focus is to press shoulders up, press, do 5 to 10 rolls in one direction, other direction, press, up, one, up, I'm going to do this, press, two, it's the other way around. So you're doing forward rolls, 5 to 10 rolls in one direction, do backward rolls, 5 to 10 rolls in one direction. That's going to be your shoulder rolls. Next one's going to be your 6-point burpees. So 6-point burpees, just normal burpees, knees to floor, chest to floor. If you can come all the way down, press up, burpee, knees to floor, chest to floor, press up, burpee. If you can get your chest all the way down to the floor, use that chest to floor to work on that mobility across the chest. If you can't go all the way down to a burpee, shoulders uncomfortable, kick back. For your kick back. Okay, that's going to be your burpees. You're doing 6 to 10 burpees. Then we're doing an air squat to up and over a fence. So we're just going to work on your squat mobility as well as hip internal, external rotation. So from there to the side, we're going to squat, push back, over the fence, make sure you're in a good squat position, squat, over the fence, squat, and you're doing over the fence. Every time you can feel that internal rotation, external rotation through this here. Good squat position, back straight, chest up to work through the hips. Then we're going to do number 3, a cat to camel. So cat to camel, we're looking for mobility along the spine, as much extension and flexion of the spine as you can, and get as much work. So camel, you're going to push up, you're going to push through the spine, you're going to tuck the head in, feel the stretch along the spine, the side, boop, and you're going to press out. Press, shoulders back, push through the arms, and then arch up, camel, and cat, and camel, cat to camel, 10 reps on each. Hold the top and the bottom of each movement, try and get as much movement as possible, top and bottom of each of those movements. That's your cat to camel. Right, then we do a little bit more shoulder prep work. So something we haven't done too much to do. We're looking for the internal and external rotation of the shoulder girdle. Right, so you have to try and maintain a safe position with this. It's easy to overdo it. You're going to come into side lying position. Legs can be straight, knees are bent. And you're going to bring this elbow right inside. If you need to rest your head on a pillow, you can. If your head is okay, just chin tucked in, that's fine. This elbow is going to come to 90 degrees. Then we're going to try and get this elbow, this hand, maintaining the 90 degrees. Don't let the part of the hand fall away from here. Try and maintain the 90 degrees. Turn the wrist to the floor. Come back to the middle. Then this side, we're going to try and get this hand down to the floor without that shoulder popping off the floor. So the more this hand goes down, the more the shoulder wants to come up. Keep the shoulder in the same position as just there. Use this hand to press a little bit. Don't overdo it because otherwise you're going to stretch into this posterior cuff on the side, which we don't want to damage. Back to the middle. Rotate 1. Slowly, 2, touch, slowly press, maintain the 90 degree, 3, make sure there's no pain on the back of the shoulder, please. Again, work at it slowly, work it for 30 seconds to a minute, nice slow reps on each side, turn, do the other side. That's going to be your internal, external rotations. Okay, shoulder rotations. Then we're doing a 1-minute split stance. So we're still working on mobility through the spine and through the shoulders. Split stance, feet nice and wide. You're going to press out to the side, press, and you're going to turn, up in the shoulders, and back, other side, turn, up, open the shoulders, other side, turn, up, open the shoulders, other side, turn, up, over the shoulders. And we're doing side, left, right, left side, right shoulder, right side, left shoulder, right shoulder. Do 5 to 10 of those on each side. Or do it for a minute. Okay, and that is your shoulder prep work, most of your warm-up, mobility. We need to do a little bit of prep work, okay, a little bit more shoulder warming up before we start getting to our strict handstand push-up work. So now we need to start doing some handstand work, getting the overhead position a little bit better so we can do more work here. So we're going to do a kick-up handstand, we're going to do some inverted shoulder shrugs, we do some pike handstand push-ups, and we do 2 or 3 rounds of that. Okay, we'll just show you a few modifications. The first one is a kick-up handstand. So I'm going to do it up against the wall again. If you can do a freestanding handstand, you can do a freestanding handstand. From there, arms locked out, kick up, handstand, up. If you can do normal handstands, do normal handstands. Just kick up, hold for as long as you can, come back down. It's a chance for you to practice that handstand position. So do freestanding handstands if you can. If you're not quite sure of those, kicking up onto a wall, hands are locked out, hips, press, hold, press out, back down. Okay, then try and use the other leg in front. Other leg in front, kick up, hold, press, back down. You're going to be doing 5 kick up and down handstands or 5 handstand hold balances on that. Next time we're doing inverted shoulder strokes. So it's going to look like this. If you can do a handstand, do a handstand. Again, kick up. And what we're looking for now is we do a shrug. So you're going to shrug the shoulders down and press up. Press, shrug down, shrug up. Shrug down, shrug up. And you're doing 5 to 10 of those, pressing through the position. If you need to scale that, you can do a scaling option. Overhead position. And scale back. Arms locked out. Shrug. Shrug. Pushing back. Or even a kneeling option. Press. Get the shoulder blades together as much as possible. Press to the shoulders. Shoulder blades together. Press to the shoulders. Kneeling position. Or you can do it with your feet on a box. Hips pressing up. Shrug. Coming down. Shrug. Coming down. Those are going to be your inverted shoulder shrugs in a pike position or up on the wall or even a kneeling position for the knees if that over position is too much for your shoulders. Okay, then we do pike, handstand, push-ups. So if you're going to do normal push-ups, knees to floor, chest to floor, pushing up. Okay, get the shoulders nice and warm in the push-up position. You can even start there, progress from there. Next progression, feet on the wall, feet on the floor. Push back, head to touch, press back, give yourself 3 to 5 reps of those. Okay, if you need to next progression, feet up on a chair or on a box. Head up, feet up over the top of the box, hips over the top of the shoulders. Touch, back, press, do those. They could be pikes. Probably up to pikes is enough. And then if you're going to do strict handstand push-ups, once you've gone through all those progressions, your shoulders are nice and warm, then kick up onto the wall, do handstand push-ups on the wall for your strict handstand push-ups. If you can do kipping handstand push-ups, do a few extra kipping handstand push-ups. Make sure you've done everything you need to do to be able to perform these handstand and this overhead work as safely as possible. Make sure that you're sure on where you're going to scale down. If you're not doing handstands, you're doing push-ups. And do 7 rounds with as much rest as you need to, like we just said before. And then at the end of that, into your finisher. All right, guys. It's Friday, end of the week, middle of the month, middle of May. Another 2 weeks to go. Let's see how we go through lockdown. See you tomorrow morning, Saturday, for the rest of your workout.